The 4% rule is probably the most famous retirement rule in the world. It promises a simple solution. Withdraw 4% of your portfolio every year, adjust this for inflation, and you'll never run out of money. Sounds great, right? The problem is, in South Africa, it can ruin your retirement. Why, you ask? Because our reality is different. We deal with higher inflation, a weaker rand, stricter tax rules, and unique investment structures. The 4% rule was never built for this environment. And if you follow this rule blindly, two bad outcomes are likely. You could run out of money too soon, or you could live far below your means, leaving millions unspent that you could have enjoyed. In this video, I'll show you why the 4% rule is actually a guideline and not a rule, and why it doesn't always work in South Africa. And then what to use instead: a dynamic retirement income plan that's flexible, tax aware, and built for our realities. For those new here, I'm Hardy Swart, certified financial planner and a director at Family Wealth Custodians. Over the past decade and a half, I've helped families plan for retirement, structuring their portfolios, reducing tax, and making sure they live the retirement they actually dreamt of. Here's a quick disclaimer. This video is for educational purposes only. It doesn't constitute personal financial advice. Always speak to a qualified financial professional before making any big financial decisions. And while you're here, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and join our free retirement community. The link is in the description below. The 4% rule is a retirement guideline developed by William Bengen, an American financial planner. The rule suggests that you can withdraw 4% of your savings in the first year of retirement and then adjust that amount for inflation each subsequent year. And in theory, your savings should last for at least 30 years. The rule assumes your savings are invested in a diversified portfolio of 50% stocks and 50% bonds. So if you retired with, let's say, 20 million rand, the first year you'd take 800,000 rand. If inflation was 6%, year 2 you would take 848,000 rand. Year 3, 899,000 rand, and so on. This sounds neat, right? Like a guaranteed recipe. But here's the problem. Retirement doesn't work that way, especially not in South Africa. Let's unpack why. The first problem is the fact that it's too rigid. Your life isn't in a straight line. In the early years of retirement, which we call the go-go years, you'll probably spend more on travel, hobbies, and lifestyle. But here's the thing. Later, life actually slows down, but the important thing is that medical costs actually rise. And in South Africa, where medical inflation is sitting between 10 and 12%, that can have a significant impact on your long-term plans. The 4% rule assumes one flat lifestyle forever, but real life doesn't work that way. The second problem is that the rule assumes that you'll be retired for 30 years, but that's not reality. Many South Africans won't live that long. On the other hand, those with good health and access to quality private healthcare may live well beyond it. Add 6% inflation, and remember, at that pace, costs double roughly every 12 years, then over a 35 to 40 year period, the maths compounds brutally. The third problem is that the 4% rule was designed on US data, assuming a 50-50 split between stocks and bonds. But South African markets look very differently. Our returns, our inflation, and even our risks don't match the US context. You can't just copy and paste the model. Problem 4, and this is a big one, the rule doesn't factor in taxes. Imagine you draw 800,000 rand from a living annuity and also earn, let's say, 240,000 rand in rental income. That's 1,040,000 rand taxable income, pushing you into the highest tax bracket. After SARS and fees take their bite, your so-called 4% can quickly shrink to 3% or less. Problem 5 is there's no clear link to market performance. There's things like sequence of returns risks. If markets fall early in retirement and you keep withdrawing the same inflation-linked amount, your effective withdrawal rate spikes. You're pulling out too much from a shrinking pot. The 4% rule gives you no playbook for market crashes. And the sixth problem is that on the flip side, some retirees underspend for decades. They're so focused on sticking to that 4% guideline that they sacrifice lifestyle, travel, and experiences, and then pass away with multiples of their starting capital. That's a wonderful legacy, but it often comes at the cost of memories you could have afforded with your family. And finally, life happens. A child might need help. A big medical procedure could happen. Or maybe it's time for a new roof. The 4% rule doesn't show how to adapt, recover, or adjust when real life interrupts the spreadsheet. So here's the thing. While the 4% rule is a useful starting point, it fails South Africans on multiple fronts. Lifestyle flexibility, longevity, local investment, taxes, market risks, and the unpredictability of life. That's why you need a plan that adapts, not a rigid formula. Rather than a fixed 4% rule, we use a rules-based flexible drawdown that adapts to markets, inflation, tax, and your life stages. It works brilliantly on its own and maps cleanly onto the 3-bucket structure that you already know. The core of the dynamic retirement spending plan is as follows. First, we set spending bands or guardrails. You set a target spend, for instance, let's say 900,000 Rand per annum, with a minimum and a maximum band, for instance 3.5% or 5.5% of your portfolio. If the portfolio value falls below a lower guardrail, we pause full inflation increases or trim 5 to 10% for a period. If it rises above an upper guardrail, we ratchet up income or fund special goals. Secondly, we need to be aware of the market and look at inflation. In a strong year, we'll look at inflation or inflation plus raises within your band. In a bad year, we'd look at inflation minus, for instance, let's say inflation minus 2%, or a freeze, then catch up when markets recover. Thirdly, we'd look at tax-smart drawdown strategies. So, for instance, we might use a tax-free savings account or interest exemptions first. Where sensible, we can harvest capital gains up to the annual exclusion or use something like the disallowed contribution, which is according to Section 10C of the Income Tax Act, to shield annuity income against taxes and keep high-yield interest inside a tax-efficient wrapper when you're in a high bracket. The result is lower effective tax rate on the same lifestyle. Fourth, we look at sequence of returns risks. The only way to shield yourself against this risk is to hold 12 to 36 months of planned withdrawals outside of equities so that you don't sell growth assets at a loss during downturns. We also make sure that there are certain review triggers. So you should have a review of your portfolio at least once a year or sooner, especially if your portfolio moves up or down by, let's say, 20%, or when big life events happen, or let's say when tax laws change. Let's use a quick example, a quick walkthrough using a 20 million Rand example. Let's say you target 900,000 Rand per annum. That's an initial 4.5% of 20 million Rand, with a 3.5 to 5.5% guardrail band. In a good year, let's say the market increases by 12%, your portfolio will sit at approximately 22.4 million Rand. Then your withdrawals can ratchet to plus or minus 980,000 Rand to 1.1 million, while staying inside your guardrails. In a bad year, let's say for instance the market is down by 15%, your portfolio is now worth 17 million and withdrawals will be held at 900,000 Rand, but no inflation increases. Or trim your withdrawals by 5 to 10% and draw down from cash buffers instead of selling equities. When markets recover, resume inflation and consider a catch-up strategy. So now the question is, how does this align with the 3-bucket system? Think of the dynamic income plan as the rules and the 3-bucket system as the plumbing that makes the rules easy to run. In bucket 1, you normally find yourself with cash or cash alternatives that provide certainty for the first 12 to 36 months. It funds your near-term withdrawals and bad year spending. When equities are down, you lean on this to avoid selling low. And bucket 2 is all about stability. Here we look at 3 to 7 years. Here we invest into income funds, quality bonds funds, and it might be moderate or moderate aggressive portfolios. We refill bucket 1 from here during prolonged downturns. It provides smoother returns to keep you inside your spending band. And then finally bucket 3, which is your growth bucket for 7 years plus. Here we look at South African and offshore equities and growth assets. In strong years, top up buckets 1 and 2 from gains, considering ratcheting your income, and in weak years, leave it to recover. Here's an operational rule of thumb. You refill bucket 1 annually from bucket 3 after a good year. In a bad year, refill bucket 2 and pause equity selling. Rebalance your portfolio to target ranges during reviews so your spending stays inside the guardrails without emotional decision making. The 4% rule is too rigid, too US-centric, and blind to South Africa's inflation, taxes, and investment structures. A dynamic retirement income plan gives you guardrails, tax-aware sequencing, and built-in flexibility, and it maps perfectly onto a simple 3-bucket layout that you already understand. If you would like more information about the dynamic retirement income plan and how to implement guardrails in your portfolio so that you have peace of mind, then book a complimentary exploration call with one of our team members. We will be able to assess if we are able to help and guide you in the right direction. If you found this video interesting, like, subscribe, and share this with a friend who's approaching retirement. I'm Hadi Swart. This is Family Wealth, and keep investing into your future.